AWS chooses Northern Virginia for its East Coast HQ.
AWS releases its Serverless Application Repository.
Google launched its IoT Core.
Amdocs wants to make CSPs transition to the cloud easier.
Microsoft and Xiaomi agree to work together on the cloud.
Apple uses Google Cloud to store iCloud data.
Cryptojacking trend hits LA Times.
And the Supreme Court weighs in the cloud against a 30-year-old law. All this and more are coming up on the Roundup Thursday, March 1st. Happy March, everyone. I'm Shaylee Webb.
And I'm Corey Bowling. Welcome to the Cloud News Roundup on lifternews.com. We have some big news to share this week, so let's get right to it.
Amazon Web Services is going to build a new East Coast headquarters in Northern Virginia. The new building, which will reside at 1 Dulles Tower in Herndon, will bring an estimated 1,500 jobs to the region and put a major AWS office near several big federal customers, as well as a major internet hub. In exchange for locating its second headquarters in the state, Amazon will receive grants and tax incentives, including up to $7,000 per new job created.
Amazon Web Services has made its Serverless Application Repository platform generally available. The repository enables users to discover and deploy serverless applications and components on AWS. Serverless applications are part of an emerging function-as-a-service market. A recent research and markets report estimates that it will become a $7.72 billion market by 2021.
Google has partnered with ARM, Cisco, Intel, and other tech brands in the IoT space to create the Cloud IoT Core. The new managed service handles IoT device connection and management, and Google wants to bring more third-party providers in to create a standardized platform for the Internet of Things on Google Cloud. Customers can take advantage of the new Cloud IoT Core service today, with the first 250 megabytes of data each month included free.
Missouri-based Amdocs and Amazon Web Services have entered into a collaboration with the goal in mind of making it easier for communication service providers to make the move to AWS. This agreement includes plans to update Amdocs' own business support systems to a hybrid cloud solution and to create testing environments CSPs can use to test cloud-native solutions on AWS.
In another collaboration agreement, Microsoft and Chinese smartphone giant Xiaomi have agreed to collaborate on the cloud, artificial intelligence, and hardware in the future. Xiaomi will work with Microsoft on a number of big projects, including Cortana, Skype, Xiaomi's Mi AI speaker, and laptops. Xiaomi is also exploring bringing its smartphone customers' cloud data to Azure, giving Microsoft a stronger foothold in the competitive Asia-Pacific market.
If you thought that using Apple's iCloud service kept your data off of Google servers, you might be surprised to know that Apple has recently confirmed that Google Cloud hosts its iCloud data. The confirmation, which was made through Apple's regularly updated iOS security guide, states that iCloud stores users' data on third-party storage services such as S3 and Google Cloud Platform. This data doesn't include identifying information. It's also made up of chunks of information that has been heavily encrypted. Apple stores these encryption keys on its own servers.
The latest big brand to fall victim to the cryptojacking craze is the LA Times. Cryptojacking is a growing trend where hackers take advantage of unsecured cloud storage buckets on services like AWS or websites to install malware that mines cryptocurrency. In LA Times' case, one of its web pages included a script that uses the visitor's CPU to mine while they visit the site. The malware was discovered after researchers at Bad Packets Report found an unsecured AWS S3 bucket owned by the LA Times.
The Supreme Court heard oral arguments on the case of the United States versus Microsoft this week. The case involves a warrant requesting customer data that is stored overseas. Microsoft says that it can't honor a warrant from the U.S. that demands data stored in Ireland. Representatives for the federal government argue that this data is accessible from the United States, so the warrant is valid.
The law in this case is being tried over what was written in 1986, decades before the concept of the cloud would come to life. A new bill currently being discussed in Congress, called the Cloud Act, would update the law to take into account the internet as it exists today. If this bill doesn't pass into law before then, the Supreme Court is expected to rule on the case in June.
And that's it for this week's Roundup on lifternews.com. Has your business made major strides using cloud? We want to hear from you. Email us at ideas@lifternews.com.